Hello and welcome to Module 5 of the Peanut Butter Production course. And in this module, we're talking about financial management and scaling. So, we've been talking about peanut butter, we've talked about how to process it, we've talked about how to set up the business, talked about legal requirements. But then now, we're talking about financial management and scaling. Now, something you have to note is that you have to understand your production cost. You have to break down your costs into the the peanuts cost. How much is it costing me to get my raw materials? How much is it costing me to get my labor, my equipment, my packaging, my marketing? And you're going to have to be able to distinguish between fixed costs and variable costs. Now, fixed costs are costs that you do not incur every single time you have to create a jar of peanuts. For example, you have your equipment. When you've bought them, right? And at least they're supposed to last you for a while before you think about fixing or before you think about servicing them. So those are fixed costs, right? Rent is a fixed cost. Or if you have a land, if you have an apartment that you're using for your production, that's a fixed cost. Now, variable costs are costs of maybe packaging materials. So maybe you bought packaging materials for a particular batch, and then when you're going back to the market, they've increased in price. So you see, that's a variable cost. That's something that changes with or say with the production, with how the production is going. And this also affects your pricing strategy, so you have to discover what are your fixed costs, what are your variable costs, distinguish between them, and then also see how they affect your pricing strategy. Another thing you have to look at is financial forecasting. You have to develop financial projections. What are your expected sales? What are your expected expenses and profits for the first year? You have to have that written down. Also, make sure you set financial realistic goals and track your performance regularly. There's some apps that can help you with this, some apps that can help you with tracking your performance, tracking your goals, and just do more research in that and get on that. Another thing you have to also think about is cash flow management and reinvestment. You could go digital with this. There's some apps that could help you track your revenue, track your sales, track how much was made in a year based on the orders you've gotten through the app. Also, if you have a website, this is something that, if you're doing e commerce, you can also be able to ask your web developer to help you incorporate into the website that you want to be able to find out how much that website is making for you. So, you can track your cash flow regularly to sustain, to ensure the sustainability of the business, because you really have to know where your money is going to be able to know how you're reinvesting your profits, where you're reinvesting your profits. Is it into marketing, into equipment upgrades, or, expanding your production? So you have to also um, put more eyes on the money that's coming in and going out of the business. Also, you have to think about scaling your peanut butter business. So, say you started out with the chunky texture, you have to think about, how do I want to scale? Do I want to go into having creamy texture, or do I want to just have different sizes? So maybe I could have the jar, I could have the peanut butter in sachets, where that's going to be much cheaper and something that people can just use on the go. You have to also think about that. So you have to expand your production capacity. You can expand your production capacity rather by automating your process, hiring staff, increasing efficiency. Obviously, this is based on increase in demand. And you also have to think about, oh, if I started out in this state and I don't see the demand increasing, is there a particular place I can move my business to that can give me that demand that I am looking for? Remember to explore new markets and product offerings to accelerate your business growth. Also, look at case studies of different businesses. I'm just going to go through some of them briefly. So we have Jif, which is an American brand, and how did they really stand out? They consistently delivered a smooth, creamy texture that people love, and they've been very smart with their marketing, making them a household name in the US. We also have Skippy, which is another US favorite, and they've had a long history and a loyal following. They actually have managed to stay competitive by offering both creamy and chalky textures, chunky versions, and they've been innovative with products like Skippy Squeeze, which makes it easier to use. So you have to just, really think out of the box. Am I going with easy to use on the go kind of products? Am I going to just be in jars and on market shelves? Um, am I going to have like little jars? Am I going to just, reduce size to reduce price? There's another one called Peter Pan, and they've been focused on, just a simple no fuss peanut butter that people trust. They've also done a good job of keeping their brand recognizable with their iconic packaging. So packaging, brand logo, your brand testimony, your brand message. These are all things that would really what that help your business to stand out. We have Reese's also. So you have to just, do more research into people that have been successful in this business. How did they stand out and how can I come into the market? We also have Alpino is an Indian brand, and they have tapped into the growing demand for healthy snacks in India. They built a brand that accessible to a wide range of consumers at affordable prices. So some people just go for no sugar, and that's their brand message, and then they stick with that, and then they draw like health conscious consumers to them. So you have to think about what will make you stand out from the next person that is also doing this business. We've come to the end of this module, and I hope you've learned a lot, and because it's actually also the end of the course, and I have an activity for you. Based on your production cost, calculate the price per jar of peanut butter. What factors would you consider when determining your final retail price? I look forward to seeing your comments in the comment sections. And if you have any questions, as usual, please leave them and we'll be sure to get back to you on that. Bye for now. See you in the next course.